Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. All right. Well, it's Monday. We've just got up with the broker. We have some good news. So long story short, the seller has a few other projects they're working on. And so they need a little bit more cash upfront than the amount that the bank was countering. So what we're agreeing to at the moment, which I say at the moment only because it could change over time. You never know. We're going to do this in a 2-stage transaction. I know that's the original. Sorry, my dog is... I started talking to my phone, and now my dog wants to get scratched. So, working at home problems. But having a dog is great. So the seller wants more cash up front, so they can fund some of their other projects they've got going on, and that's totally fine. That's all good. And so we're going back to the 2-stage deal approach. So the bank didn't feel as confident, the first bank was a local one that we weren't really clicking, so we put that on pause. The second bank is bomb. They're phenomenal. Once they sponsor me, then I'll list their name and get like an affiliate fee. But they've been great. They're definitely very solid on the underwriting process. They know the lingo. However, since this is my first gyms I've ever owned, they'd want me to have more skin in the game, or the sellers to have more skin in the game. But neither of us are in the spot because we both kind of need cash right now. So the bank says, "Hey, we'll make it an easy approval for that first one. For the second location in the same combo package, that's going to be not as doable." So what the seller and I are agreeing to is like, all right, so we'll do the first location. That one will be an easy close. That's a slam dunk deal. We'll be all set to go on that. For the second location, we're going to end up having to find a new lender for that second location. So not the first lender, not the second lender. We're going to go find a brand new lender. I have no idea who that one will be. But that one is either going to be a new business purchase or an expansion loan, most likely an expansion loan. And some banks have different, I think the term is seasoning requirements. Whenever you get cash into a deal or you start a new purchase, the time that you've owned that is called seasoning. So 6 months of seasoning. The money is, if you got like a big check from grandma for $1 million and that's in your bank account, sometimes banks want it to season in your account for a little while. That way they know it's a one-time thing, that it's been able to sit there, and you're not just getting these wild influxes and outflows. So they may have a seasoning of ownership. I'm making up that term. I think that's what it's going to be for that ownership. The bank number 2, that one that I'm stoked about, their seasoning duration, I think, is 12 months. And the first bank, they have a shorter seasoning, I think like 2 or 3 months, but they also want a lot of collateral, way more than what I'm up for providing at this point at least. So we're going to go find a lender that has a shorter seasoning requirement so we can expand into that second location and hopefully not have as heavy of a collateral lift. This is where my broker is a boss. He's really done a phenomenal job. He's going to go around, do some networking and shopping around to find me that lender. Verbally, I'm committed to the second location. And when I say verbally, I'm not like contractually obligated to it. Now I'm going to do it, but I'm not contractually obligated for it. So the broker is still in that incentivized phase of where he wants to go find the deal. He wants to do it. He's a good guy. I'm sure he would do it one way or the other, but there's still that opportunity for him to close additional business. And so I get to sit back, hang tight. I don't have to fill out apps. I don't have to talk to lenders. I don't have to shake hands at the Rotary Club. This broker is running around finding that lender on my behalf, since he wants me to sell and the seller wants me to sell and I want to buy. So, we're going to finish off this first location. It's the end of August right now. So we're slating the first location to close about 30 days from now. So the lender at bank number 2, they're going to submit the profile. They've got everything they've needed. It should be a slam dunk. We're good to go. But now, since that one's going to get rocking, we're going to hang tight and see which banks want to do an expansion loan based on me operating my first club. And I'm sure once we close on it, then the banks will line up out the door. Since I'm teed up to close and I haven't closed yet, it's hard for them to talk expansion when I haven't even been that first location. So that's where we're at now. The deal is still alive. We're going to do both of them. We're just going to schedule them out slightly at different time intervals, but we got one in the hopper. We're going to go close that in 30 days. What day is it today? Yeah, end of August. About 30-ish days or so from now. And then we'll be all good for location number 1. I'll keep the day job, and that'll help pay our bills and keep our lives afloat. And gym number 2 will just be business money. So income and expenses, that'll all be business transaction. We're now going to treat that like a normal business. And the second location, it'll probably be like 3-4 months from now for that expansion. It all depends on what kind of bank number 3 we can find and what their seasoning requirements are. But the deal is alive. We're going to do both of them, location 1 and location 2. And the transformation continues on. Once the first location finishes up, we'll then see how we feel with my wife being a stay-at-home mom and crushing that first goal that we've got. That's the first one. Goal number 1 is a stay-at-home wife arrangement because she wants that. And I want that for her. And then goal number 2 is going to be full-time self-employed. So one goal at a time, knock them down like dominoes. Here. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.